And we're back with another episode of R&R. I'm your host, Jamerson, Ballard. Happy Monday, everybody. Yeah. Shout out to the Rant Gang, man. Capital Letter Club. I hope y'all in here too, man. I know y'all probably busy, but yeah, you know, here we are. Hey, what's happening, man? KP40 ever, what's going on? Hey, what's going on, Tara? What's happening, man? Happy Monday, sweetheart. How you doing? So yeah, man. Hey, look, it's another one like the other one, man. We just gonna give you some more of it. So like today's episode is the boss's cost. Yeah, it's everybody talk about want to be a boss, want to be a boss, want to be a boss, but it costs. Oh, it costs. Hey, and a lot of people don't want to pay it, and the cost is the loss. You understand what I'm saying? There is life after loss. You know what I mean? Thank you. Hey, what's going on? It's the cost is loss, man, and there is a way to take loss like a boss. Okay, and first thing is your perspective of it. You know, because you can take 100 L's, however many it take to get the W. But to get to the W, you know, you just can't lay down when a little L happen. You know what I'm saying? It's really kind of up to you, but losses happen. Losses happen. And it happens at different phases, and you have to adapt. You have to adapt or you'll die, man. You know, the key is not taking laying down. And there's a couple people that did some shit earlier this weekend that that exemplifies some things that you can do to profit from your L's. You know what I mean? Now, you know, the most popular of those is Chris Rock. Chris Rock had a show this weekend, and I'll expound a little bit more on it later. I'm just saying, like, I don't think I would have went about it that way, but I mean, you know, salute to him for releasing something that wasn't all the way trash. I mean, it was decent. You know, I chuckled, but we'll talk about some other things that are like a little more closer to home, because taking L's happen on a regular basis, and it's up to you how you take it. You know what I mean? Now, you don't have to like it, you know, and that's just what it is. It ain't gonna be something you like. It's just because if you could choose it, you wouldn't. You'd avoid it. Most people, and we talked about that a little bit on the last episode. How you know what don't kill you, but this part is more about life after the L. You know what I'm saying? You know, you get with people sometimes and you think it's for the long haul, but it ain't necessarily meant to be like that, and they fall apart. That hurt. That hurt. But there's life after that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that made a lot of bread off their L's. People like Keisha Cole, for the ladies. Keisha Cole lost a lot, right? But she didn't just take the L and lay down. She wrote a crazy song that got her a lot of notoriety, and it made her probably a rich woman. I mean, you know, Kevin Hart is another one. Kevin Hart, I think, made his bones just talking about his divorce. You know what I mean? And how but you know, tragedy plus time equals comedy. So, you know, for me personally, if it get where it's a little overwhelming for the moment, I chuckle. I'm not like most people. It's weird, but yeah, when I'm about to lose it, I might let out a little, and it's over. But it's like we have to have things like emotional intelligence, and being smooth is really what's key. A lot of people don't move smooth. They just let their emotions run them. That's not very masculine. I mean, but like I said, man, taking L's are a part of life. And sometimes taking the L is not an option, right? And it's important on your bounce back to kind of understand that that is a mindset that you can gear into to push you past the pain. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like when you a kid, taking it. I'll give you an example. Okay, taking the L is not an option when you, as a man, you trying to get some cheeks. I mean, we have to get cheeks in order to keep society going. And I mean, you might not lit the first one or the second one, the 30th one, the 35th one, but when you do get it, you understand that it can't happen and it keeps happening. You know what I mean? You're going to make sure it keeps happening. You'll do what you did to get the win again. And you'll hear me say this, and it only takes one time. You can lose 1,000 times, but it only takes one W, and it can change everything. You know what I'm saying? It's there are scenarios when taking the L can't happen. Like I said, in these moments, I burned the boat. And that's the phrase I've come up with as far as that, and that just means that it's a life or death thing, or it's like my life is on the line. When you burn the boat, it's like in history, Napoleon Bonaparte uh, had a great war that I guess he was underneath it and didn't think that he would win, but in order to encourage his men, he had them take all the equipment off the boat and turn around and burn it. And it's like you have to win after that. The fight in you is different. You know what I'm saying? But and this ain't something you turn on with girls or nothing. It's like that kind of thing. You just kind of, if it don't work out the first few times, you come back to it. You approach it different. But other times it's life or death situation. Like somebody trying to take your cheeks or something like that, which is you hope that never happened. But you know it don't even gotta be cheeks. If somebody's trying to take what's yours, like your life or something, you know, you gotta turn it on. And when you in survival mode, which is a lot of times you can be in after you go through something crazy or traumatic, you gotta understand that you can go into that gear to get to your next level. The next level you, which is the you after the L. It's just you gotta keep going. Somebody passed, uh, somebody you love, somebody you looked up to, etc. Relationship don't work out the way you wanted it to work out. You know, even stuff with your job or whatever, you have to. It's an L you gonna take. You can't turn around and do nothing crazy. You gotta make your next move your best move, man. You know what I mean? It's like I was listening to Dion Cole on the 85 South show talk about how he approached going on the stage or whatever, and it changed my perspective on a couple of things. But it's like when he go on stage, he don't expect to make people laugh right off. He just go up there maybe expecting to lose and have 10 pieces, 10 jokes. I mean, and then he think that maybe two of them might work out of the 10, and the ones that don't work. I mean, he goes up with the intent to bomb, understanding that even bombing can be funny in that walk of life. You understand? And it's just like once you get on the other side of that, though, it's worth it to you. It's like going through the L is worth getting to the W. So it's like, certain things you approach like that, and that might be like, dealing with certain females, or just approaching a new thing in life. But other things require more attention. There is a difference. It's up to you to know when is what. But do with this what you will, man. And if you're feeling it, if it's giving you something, you know, show me love monetarily, because love is an action word. But I'm not asking. I'm just saying that you want to show me some love. You can do it like that. It's really nothing. Yeah. But yeah. Let me see. Keisha Cole. Um, let's talk about Chris Rock this time, because Chris Rock got slapped on stage in front of everybody, and that is unacceptable. But you was somebody that you can't whoop. So I mean, he took it. He took it as probably best as you could take it on stage in front of everybody, in front of your kids and your mama and everybody. He took that, and this weekend he gave a little back, but it wasn't really. I don't know. Like I said, I chuckled. It wasn't crazy, but he did get on, bro. He Will got on a little bit at the end. He said everybody called him a bitch, and that's very true. Very true. He is not mad at Chris, but he knew what he could get away with. You understand? What's up, 29? So yeah, he did what he knew he can get away with, and that's not necessarily no boss shit, but he took out his anger on Chris, and Chris gave him a few jabs on stage this weekend with the special that was not necessarily lackluster, but it was it was probably the best he done in a while. So shout out to him, and I know Will hating it right now, but you know he got on you in the best way he could, and it wasn't like he hit the man back. Now he's come under a little bit of fire about the whole slave joke situation, which I don't know. It's the stage, man, and that's somewhere that's kind of like you're supposed to have the freedom to do what you want to do with that. He still did it tactfully. It wasn't like he was making fun of actual slavery. He was just, happy to see the man get hit, even though it was imaginary. And but yeah, man, losses, losses happen, but that's the cost of being a boss, man. It's taking losses and bouncing back afterwards, making your next move your best move. You know what I mean? There's another individual that comes to mind that's just transitioning right now, and the frame of mind is just immaculate underneath the circumstances, because several years of being with a person is it's like you can become conditioned, to being with the person, and it's like, do you love them or are you just used to them? But even though this that they have been in for a little over 20 years, has come to a screeching halt, if not the end. Their perspective on this is amazing, and you have to understand that the end of one thing doesn't have to be the end of you. You know what I mean? And then when we was talking about perspective, it's about making room for something else, a greater, a newer, a brighter, a shinier you. Not so much focus on what you're losing. You know what I mean? So it's, as a young person, everything feels like it's permanent when it's happening, and like this is the end. But that's not where it's at. It is still life. I'm sorry, after loss, and you have to embrace that, and keep it lit because life goes on, man. So yeah, but yeah, on today's segment of "Don't Be a Weirdo," we got anybody that's out in the northeast area of the country that's strung out on a new drug called Trank. That's weird because Trank eats your flesh. I think it's like a animal tranquilizer, which is where it gets its name from. But it's all over the like northeast. It's in Philly right now, and it's going towards New York. And if you on that, if you a new, first of all, any new dope fiend is that blows my mind. That's crazy. How is you a new dope fiend? You know that this dope, right? And it's been killing since before you even got here, and you now you on, wow. But it's something that eats your flesh, and that's your drug of choice. That's your coping mechanism. Really? So you on a flesh eating dope. Stop it. That's weird. And I'm not here to make fun of addiction or nothing, because addiction is serious, I guess. It's just the fact that you didn't do no homework on the dope that you taking before you didn't do no research or nothing. You didn't see none of the people around there that was buying this dope falling apart, holding their arm with scabs everywhere, and that's sexy to you. That's what you want to do. That's how you moving, bro. That's weird. Don't be a weirdo. You your drug of choice is eating you alive, and you trying to get another sack. Really? Stop it. What you 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 about to borrow some money to get some shit that kill you? I mean, like right now, it can't feel that good. It feel that good. Are you serious? So you homeless and your body's falling apart? Stop it. Anyway, man, this is real inspiration, real entertainment by a real person for a real purpose. The home of the joy that you cannot destroy. So, you can be unbreakable too, man. Unstoppable. You just gotta, embrace the L and not be scared of it. Because it's a win on the other side of it, bro. But if you scared to take the L to get to the W, then you ain't gonna make it. This ain't for you. You might as well keep working at Walmart or whatever you doing, cause you don't have what it takes. Cause you gonna lose. You gonna lose. You gonna lose a lot. You gonna lose more than most, but you gonna win on the other end. So I need you to take that in. Breathe that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? To hit the cash app. If you know what I'm talking about, if you didn't been through it, if you winning right now and you took a L on the chin, but you like how you looked on the other end. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not, man. You learn so much more from the L's. The wins is what everybody talk about, and that's like a highlight reel. With, you know what I mean? All the greats that did it, man. All of them. All of them. I mean, they don't emphasize that in the stories, but that's what goes on behind the scenes, bro. I wanted to like try to control what goes on before I do this show, and it's not like that can really happen. I had a whole discussion with Craig about it, and it was just like when you get to a certain level when you're doing comedy. Now I don't even consider myself a comic. I feel like I'm more like a professional shit talker. You know what I mean? And I call doing comedy stage fucking, cause I'm gonna fuck with your head. But it ain't really about the jokes right now. So don't trip. I mean, if you chuckle, cool. Cause I mean, it's not a game to me. I'm just being a real nigga And this is for real niggas, and I don't mean just you know, nothing ignorant at all. I mean, honestly, you'd have to admit that you are a little ignorant in order to learn something. If you feel like you know everything, then this probably ain't the place for you, and that's cool. Cause I ain't trying to. I don't know everything. I mean, you have to have you some cool audibles and some fail safe set up because in this game, it's like it's not. It don't everything don't go the way you want it to go, and that's in life or anything. If you do comedy and you on the stage and somebody try to help you got to hit them with something. You can't just take a L. You know, there are people that did it, and then people that won off of that. D-Ray is a person that won off of just heckling a comic on stage, man. That's how he got his bones. Bro, I don't think bro write jokes right now. He just get up there and kind of freestyle and shit, and that's fly. You know what I'm saying? For those of you that can do that, cool. But if you can't, that's cool too. You just gotta know what your lane is. Run through that. I seen some more shit this weekend that I didn't really. I mean, she's at a higher level, and it don't really matter. But I just seen some notes that I didn't notice before. You know, I thought that mostly. Well, you see a lot of people they don't read or whatever. But if you gotta do that, then do that. You know what I mean? That's what it is. I'm not looking down on none of that. It's different ways to move. You just gotta know what works for you. You know, 10 years, 15 years of marriage didn't work for somebody else. I mean, that might work for you. That might not work for nobody else. You just gotta do what works for you. If the expiration date on the situation was 10 years or 12 years or 15 years, and that's what it was. You know what I mean? Me personally, I feel like marriage should have the licensing should be different. I don't know if you agree with this, but it's like, let's say you get a 3 year, a 5 year, or a 7 year marriage license, for example. And when y'all get together, you look at each other and you basically play spades and bid on how many years y'all got in y'all. So you looking like you got three in this, maybe 5 or 7, and see. But after let's say you got a 5 piece, y'all go through the 5, and y'all think we'll renew it and get another 5. But if your license expire and you don't renew it, then y'all just ain't married no more. Because the divorce thing is kind of exaggerated. But that's, I don't really, everything is, you know, cool when everybody don't really got much going on. It's a little different when you got a lot of property to split up and things like that. So that might throw a kink in that altogether. But, I mean, like you come out what you came in with. And if you say, for instance, you only get penalized if you try to get out of the marriage before the little renewal time come up. But other than that, I only think it's maybe like a 10-year expiration date on most relationships. I mean, but that just means that you have to learn how to grow together. Because a lot of times one person is growing, but the other person might not be, and the communication falls apart somewhere, and the maintenance on the relationship ain't being done properly. You know what I mean? It ain't really. It's not mostly about renewing the license as much as it's renewing the doing. The loving and the keeping the like involved, because the like that's as important as the love. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have opinions about things like that, but I'm just like, keep the like in there and do what you did to get the person to keep the person. You know, don't get lazy. Don't get complacent. And act like you still like each other, but it's not like that's something that's practiced. And so maybe the marriage license idea might work, but like I said, man, it's a free things to take away from this episode. One, losses are the cost to being a boss. Two, you do not have to take loss laying down. Three, don't become a dolphin because you took a few L's that hurt a little bit and get on something called trank because that's weird. And the bonus is, man, maybe you should change the divorce laws out this motherfucker. But anyway, if you gain something from this episode, man, if you learn something, shoot me a like, share it. You know what I mean? The Cash App is $SuperStee. You know, like I said, but it ain't about the bread. It's about, you know, trying to give mostly the youngsters something to shoot for, because it ain't no real OGs out here giving them no game. You know, and I'm just big bro trying to shoot you a line on some game, bro, on how to keep your shit together. Even if you're an older cat and you fell up in here on some capital letter club shit and you need your real shit recertified, and come in here and get you a refresher, man, because it's in here, man. We constantly, staying out the way and sucker ducking. It doesn't necessarily mean that, things don't still happen. A lot of times it be the ones that's closest to you. So, but that's really all for today's episode, man. My name is Jamerson Ballard. Shout out to the Rand Gang, man. Like I said, I do this thing usually every Monday between 5 and 7 Central Standard Time. So, if you want to get involved, you can follow me on Instagram and, request to go live with me. If you got a question, you wanna, do a little rant and tell me about how you feel about certain things, or give me a certain topic, we might look at it. But I'm also on Facebook and on YouTube. It's Jamerson Ballard on all platforms. Like I said, man, y'all have a happy Monday, have a great week, and I'll see y'all next time.